Good morning. It's Monday, October 24th in the NBA, and I'm back with my 4 favorite picks of the day. What's going on? My name is Austin from Calling Our Shot. We're going for our 6th straight winning day. Let's talk about yesterday. Our best bet of the day, Zion Williamson, over 24.5 points. He squeaks it out, gets 25, then gets injured, does not return. Our best bet segment, though, perfect 5-0 on the year, trying to make that 6-0 today. Our only other play was Anthony Simons over. He built the brick house out there. He couldn't cash a bucket, but we still cash and we go to a winning day because our best bets are obviously played for more units. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor, go down below, hit that subscribe button. I certainly would appreciate it. Drop a like too. If you're interested in our Monday Night Football videos where we got the Bears versus Patriots, that video was just posted right before this one, so go check out that. Go check it out. You'll find our favorite picks for that, a player prop, same game parlay, spread pick, all of that stuff. Then my final reminder is that these lines are sharp, and so I know sometimes people are going to get a hit on the hook like 25.5 for Zion yesterday. That's another way for me to just kind of say you should become a COS All-Star. It's a YouTube membership. It only costs $2.99 a month. You get our plays about an hour or so early before the videos in case the lines do move, and we know they have been moving, and sometimes they finish right in the middle. So if you want to become an All-Star, go click the join button. You get a couple other exclusive perks, and I'll shout you out at the end of the video like I will do so today. Let's talk about my best bet of the day. 1.5 unit play, going for 6-0. It's a guy by the name of Jalen Brown, over 22.5 points, minus 111 on FanDuel. Now, I did see a book at 21.5 at like minus 140, so I'm not going to take that. If you want to take this at 23.5, that's fine. FanDuel's the only book I saw with the line at the moment. I imagine all of them end up at 22.5 or 23.5. I would play both of them for 1.5 units. Now let's talk about Jalen Brown. He plays for the Houston Rockets, if you did not know. Today they play host to the Utah Jazz, and I need to make note of this. The Houston Rockets are favored in this game. That won't be my spread pick, although I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets win this one, because I would probably guarantee you the Rockets will be favored in less than 10 games this season. Probably even less than that. Now, so far, Jalen Brown has scored 16, 33, and 22 points. So, first game of the year went way under. Second game went way over. Balanced out at 22 points in his last game, but that was right on the hook, and that would be devastating today. But I think he bounces back because you look at 2 games, both that he went under, he shot 35 and 31.6%. Look, just like Anthony Simons yesterday, I can live with that loss because the man went out there and shot like 5 for 18 from the field. As long as they shoot and giving us a chance, that's all we can ask for. And I expect him to bounce back because last game he shot 6 for 19, scored 22 points against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, we saw him shoot poorly in game 1 of the year. That's when he scored 16 points, shot 31.6% from the field. And look, he bounced back the next game, scoring 33 points against the Grizzlies. Jalen Brown, what we have to love, he's attempting a ton of shots. And this is a guy that kind of came on at the end of the year last season. And look, the first 3 games of the year, 20, 21, and 19 field goal attempts. This is going to be a fast-paced game against the Utah Jazz. And Brown plays a lot better at home and shoots better at home. He set this over in 6 straight home games dating back to last season. And look, he shot much better at home. I think 4% or more better at home last year. And he averaged about 4.4 more points per game at home, which are obviously at home today. Jalen Brown, over 22.5 points in 10 of 15 career games at 67% of the time with 18 or more field goal attempts. I can't guarantee he goes out there and shoots 18 times, but he has shot 19 or more times in all 3 games of the season. He's gonna have the ball in his hand a good amount. I mean, the over-under for this game sit at 232. Like I already talked about, the Rockets are 1-point favorites, so this should be more or less a pretty close game. And I just think he goes out there and does pretty well. This season, 7 players have attempted 15, not 18, 15, which I'm pretty sure Jalen Brown will attempt that unless he gets injured. 7 players attempted 15 or more field goal attempts versus the Jazz. They've scored 22, 23, 25, 27, 27, 28, and 30 points. The only guy that missed was Aaron Gordon, who scored 22 on 17 field goal attempts. He doesn't attempt a lot of threes. Jalen Brown does. I just think Brown, who can score at the rim, can score at the three-point line, can score in the mid-range. He can do it all. I think he has a good chance of scoring 30-plus points tonight, which is plus 350 at points bet. Give it to me. Best bet of the day, 1.5 units, Jalen Brown, over 22.5 points. Let's move on to my favorite spread pick, though. I'm going to go with the Bulls, plus 4.5, which is minus 105 on FanDuel. If you want to take plus 5, you can. If you want to pay a little bit of juice for plus 5.5, obviously we know if this is a close game, we get into some foul trouble, see some free throws, we could see the Bulls lose this one and lose by 5 or 6. The spreads are normally dialed in, but I think the Bulls have a chance of winning this game outright. Let's talk about it. The Bulls will face the Celtics today, and what they need to be a bounce-back game. Because the last game they played, we know that game too much because we took the Cavaliers team total under, and yeah, the Bulls went out there and lost by 32 points. Now, granted, they can't control necessarily the Cavs making every single one of their shots, but they can control at least playing better defense, and I think they do that this game. But not only playing better defense, their offense has to do some positive regression for shooting. Over the last 2 games, they've lost both, one by 2 points to the Wizards, and the other, obviously, obviously, but they lost by 32. But they've combined to shoot 14 for 56 from the three-point line. That's 25%. I know they're not, sorry, Lakers fans, they have better shooters than the Lakers do, and they're going to bounce back and shoot better. They just purely have to. This is a game of basketball. You see, it's a game of runs. It's just a roller coaster ride. You see guys go over than under all the dang time, and they're just going to make more shots. I just expect them to do it. I know the Celtics are 3-0. They've won all 3 games by 5 or more points. Yeah, why are they only laying 4.5 points? We've seen them lay much more than that against other teams. I know that in the 3 games versus Boston last year, the Bulls lost by 23, didn't cover that one, then lost by 2, and then won a game by 14 points. Expect the Bulls to give their home crowd a little bit better of a product than they did in their first opening game. I think they played pretty well. The only game you saw that the Bulls lost by 23 to the Celtics. They gave up 17 three-pointers. If they do that today, they're probably going to lose. But I think the Bulls play better, and they potentially win this one outright. But I'll take the points. Give me 4.5, and we'll ride with that as my spread pick of the day. Let's finish it out with 2 more player props. As always, if we add a play, it's going to be in the pinned comment. You can check that out there, or you can go to our Twitter, @CallingOurShot. You should follow us there anyways. Helps show some love on our tweets. Helps the channel grow as well. But let's move on. Talk about this guy. You probably know him. Paolo Banchero, over 17.5 points, -115 on points bet. I'd probably play this up to probably 18, 19.5. I think that's pretty fine for Banchero, and I find it rude if I don't run it back for Banchero as he makes his first ever game starting in Madison Square Garden. You know, players make a big deal of this. Everyone loves playing in MSG, and imagine Banchero is one of those guys. Now, Banchero's trying to become a COS Hall of Famer early on in the season, as he's already cashed out twice for us, and I'd consider making him a best bet, but I like to be more diverse, and eventually Banchero's got to go under, right? Because he's gone over in all 3 games, scored 27, 20, and 23 points. The main reason we're here is because we're just banking on shot volume. I mean, he shot the ball 18, 19 times so far this season. It's not only that, Banchero also has a knack for getting to the free throw line. He's attempted 7, 8, and 11 free throws so far this season. So you're telling me, number 1, this guy's going to shoot it 18-ish times, at least 15, 18-ish times, and 2, he's going to get to the free throw line 5, 10 times. Look, and you're only asking me, we need 18 points. The last 2 games, he shot very poorly from the field. I think 6 for 18 and 6 for 19, but he's still been able to get it done, and I'm not scared about this matchup against my New York Knicks. Sure, Julius Randle will probably guard him, but Julius Randle also likes to foul. Mitchell Robinson, he's going to jump at every single pump fake. So you just go in the paint, hit him with a pump fake, and he's going to foul you. So that could be easy ways to get to the line. Isaiah Hartenstein, not worried about him if he's in whenever Banchero's in. And ultimately, I don't see them putting their best defender and RJ Barrett on it. That would be a 4-inch and a 35-pound differential in body size. So I think we're going to see Randle on him, and I think we can see Banchero have a pretty good game. The Magic, like we've talked about, very banged up. That's why we keep taking Banchero, because the Magic got no one else out there. Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, Mo Wagner, all these guys are out. By the end of the year, when everyone's healthy, that's going to be 5 guys in their top 10 in rotations. I don't think they really want to be playing bol out there by choice, but they are, and it's fun to watch. But at the end of the day, as long as the Magic don't get run out the building, I think we'll see Banchero have a pretty good game. I'll take his over 17.5 points on points bet. Now, for my final player prop, and like I said, I might have another one, but just make sure you check our Twitter and the pinned comment. Taking Jalen Brown over 22.5 points, -108 on Caesars. Now, yes, we are returning to the Bulls and Celtics game. And you could look at this and say, well, Austin, what if Jalen Brown goes out there and drops a 50-piece? What's going to go down with your Bulls pick? But you could say it's contradictory, but I think that there's many scenarios where the Celtics don't cover, which would cash our spread pick, and that Jalen Brown gets it done. I mean, we took a Jalen without a Y. Why not a Jalen with a Y? Now, you look at the reason I'm on this one is because Jason Tatum has really struggled, actually, versus Chicago. And while we're not taking a Tatum under, I don't want to do that. Tatum scored 20, 23, and 16 points versus the Bulls last season, and they needed other guys to step up, and Tatum's still going to get Patrick Williams, their best defender, for the Bulls on him, which leads to, I don't imagine Alex Caruso on Jalen Brown. Imagine either Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan. Sign me up. Now look at this. Brown's last 5 games versus the Bulls. 25, 19, 28, 23, and 26 points, hitting the over in 4 of 5 games. And Brown this year, very similar to guys we've already been talking about, like a Jalen Green. He scored 35, 28, and 12 points. 12 points is a clear outlier, and that was a last game where he shot 4 for 16 from the field, only 12 points against the Orlando Magic. Now, we look at the positives, 24, 18, and 16 field goal attempts in 3 games. He's shooting at a ton. He only attempted 16 in the last game because 1, he couldn't buy a bucket. 2, Tatum had a 40-piece. And 3, Derek White shot 17 times, which is not like Derek White. Jalen Brown hit this over in 16 of his last 25 games, 64% of the time. Don't imagine he has another back-to-back bad shooting game. Maybe he takes better shots, or he just simply knocks them down. Ultimately, only 2 players have attempted 16 or more field goal attempts against the Bulls this season. Kyle Kuzma scored 26 points. Donovan Mitchell scored 32 points. I think 16 or more field goal attempts is in the realm of possibility for Brown. He's done that all 3 games this season. I think he continues to do it. Hopefully, Jalen Brown has a good game. The Bulls cover. Everyone's happy, and that's going to do it. But like I said, we might add another player prop. We'll see. A couple lines I was looking for, but I didn't want to pull the trigger just yet until I see all the books with lines. So let's go for a 6th straight winning day. Go to 6-0 on our best bets. And finally, shout out to all our COS All-Stars. If you want to become an All-Star, get our plays early, get some cool emojis and all this random stuff, go click the join button on the channel. Simple. Do it. $2.99 a month. Here's our new All-Stars. We got G's 401, Mason Barrett. We got Eric. We got Jalen. I'm gonna have to ban you if your our Jalen's don't treat us nicely today. And never mind, maybe MC599, Paul, and 7 perfect angles, I believe. Angels, who knows? I appreciate you guys always tuning in. Monday Night Football. Check that video out if you want to. We're about to pass 46,000 subscribers. You guys are the real MVPs. We'll see you guys back again tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. See you guys then. Peace.